Top 80 Kanban interview questions and answers. Question 1. What are Kanban key metrics? Kanban key metrics are cycle time, lead time distribution and flow efficiency. Question 2. What is difference between Kanban and Scrum? Kanban and Scrum are both ways to achieve business agility. Kanban is a method or set of practices while Scrum is a framework, both which follows Agile methodology. The approach is different. More differences are discussed in the video here. Kanban versus Scrum webinar and info in the article here. Kanban versus Scrum. Question 3. Is Kanban lean or agile? Kanban follows the lean management approach towards creating business agility. Question 4. What is Kanban with example? Kanban is a signaling method that creates a pull-based system. It helps you manage the flow of work by limiting WIP. It helps you to visualize the work, identify delays and bottlenecks and improve continuously. A real-life example of Kanban can be seen in Starbucks coffee shop. The cashier pulls in the new customer as soon as they're free. The coffee maker caters to the placed orders as soon as the coffee machine is free. Question 5. How does Kanban system work? Kanban works on a pull method. It helps you limit WIP. As soon as the work in any workflow stage goes below the WIP limit, it signals the preceding stage and pulls in more work in their queue. Kanban system helps visualize the several workflow stages. The visualization helps the team to identify bottlenecks, optimize the flow and continuously improve. Question 6. Why Kanban is used? Kanban is an alternative approach to agility. It focuses on service orientation and creating the service, fit for purpose, by applying principles and practices of Kanban. Question 7. What is difference between Kanban and Agile? Kanban is a method to achieve agility. Question 8. What is Kanban board and Jira? Kanban board and Jira is the visual representation of the flow of work or workflow stage. Question 9. Is Kanban a framework or methodology? Kanban is a method that consists of 3 service delivery principles, 3 change management principles, 3 scaling principles and 6 general practices. Question 10. What are the 3 elements of Kanban framework? The 3 elements of Kanban are service delivery principles, change management principles and general practices. Question 11. Is Kanban a waterfall? No, Kanban is not a waterfall system. Question 12. Can I use Jira for Kanban? Yes, you can use Jira for Kanban. Question 13. How do I know if a Jira project is Kanban or Scrum? The Jira project that uses Kanban has the name of the board as Kanban board. Also, the board will have the WIP limits in the columns. Question 14. What is common between Scrum and Kanban? Both Scrum and Kanban helps you achieve agility. Question 15. Can Kanban have sprints? No, Kanban is a continuous delivery process and does not have sprints. Question 16. How do you decide between Kanban and Scrum? Kanban and Scrum are both ways to achieve business agility. Kanban is a method or set of practices while Scrum is a framework, both which follows Agile methodology. The approach is different. More differences are discussed in the video here. Kanban versus Scrum webinar and info in the article here. Kanban versus Scrum. Question 17. What is cadence in Kanban? Cadence are the meetings, feedback loops in Kanban. For X, daily Kanban meeting, replenishment meeting, team retrospective meeting, etc. Question 18. What are the meetings in Kanban? Cadence are the meetings, feedback loops in Kanban. For X, daily Kanban meeting, replenishment meeting, team retrospective meeting, etc. Question 19. Is there a retrospective in Kanban? Yes, you can set your own frequency for team retrospective meeting in Kanban. Question 20. What are the cons of Kanban? There are no cons of Kanban. Question 21. What is the first rule of Kanban? The first general practice of Kanban is visualize. Visualize the work and flow of work. Question 22. What are the 6 rules of Kanban? The 6 general practices of Kanban are visualize, limit WIP, manage flow, make policies explicit, implement feedback loops and improve collaboratively and evolve experimentally. Question 23. Is Kanban a push or pull system? Kanban is a pull system. Question 24. How can I improve my Kanban process? Kanban has several improvement techniques. Few of the ways are shape the demand, understand demand patterns, understand variability in the system, manage dependencies and identify bottlenecks. Question 25. How many Kanban principles are there? There are 3 sets of Kanban principles: service-oriented principles, change management principles and scaling principles. Question 26. Who should use Kanban? Anyone can use Kanban. Question 27. How is Kanban better than Scrum? It cannot be said that what is better, Kanban or Scrum. Both are approaches to bring agility. Question 28. How does Kanban prevent work over capacity? Kanban helps you limit WIP. Limiting WIP creates a pull system and helps avoid overburdening. Question 29. Is Kanban a framework or methodology? Kanban is a method. Question 30. What is Lean Kanban? Kanban and Lean Kanban are used interchangeably. Kanban has been derived from Lean management approach. Question 31. What is the best online tool for Agile development using Kanban? There are several online tools available for Agile development using Kanban. Some of the popular ones are Trello, Asana, Jira, LeanKit, Kanbanize, and Monday.com. The best tool for your organization would depend on your specific needs and requirements. Question 32. What's the best Kanban software? There is no one best Kanban software as it depends on your specific needs and requirements. Some of the most popular Kanban software are Trello, Jira, Asana, and Kanbanize. Question 33. Which agile methodology, Scrum, Lean, XP, or Kanban, is considered the best practice, and why? Each agile methodology has its own strengths and weaknesses, and what works best for one organization may not work for another. The best practice is to choose the methodology that suits your specific needs and goals. Question 34. How do I use Kanban? Kanban is a visual process management system that focuses on continuous delivery and improving workflow. To use Kanban, you would start by visualizing your work on a Kanban board, limiting work in progress, managing flow, making process policies explicit, implementing feedback loops, and improving collaboratively and evolving experimentally. Question 35. Is Kanban or Scrum better for project management? Both Kanban and Scrum have their own strengths and weaknesses, and what works best for one organization may not work for another. Kanban is more flexible and adaptable, while Scrum provides more structure and predictability. Question 36. What are project management tools with Kanban cards and chat? Some of the popular project management tools with Kanban cards and chat are Trello, Asana, Jira, and Monday.com. Question 37. What are some Kanban tools with Git integration? Some of the popular Kanban tools with Git integration are Trello, GitKraken boards, Kanbanize, and GitHub projects. Question 38. What are your favorite Kanban tools besides Trello? As an AI language model, I do not have favorites or opinions. However, some popular Kanban tools besides Trello are Asana, Jira, Kanbanize, and LeanKit. Question 39. How do you manage a product roadmap in Kanban? To manage a product roadmap in Kanban, you would start by visualizing your roadmap on the Kanban board, creating swim lanes for different stages of the roadmap, prioritizing features based on business value, setting WIP limits, and using metrics to track progress and make data-driven decisions. Question 40. Which Kanban project management tool should I choose? The Kanban project management tool you choose should depend on your specific needs and requirements. It is important to evaluate the features and functionalities of different tools and choose the one that best suits your organization. Question 41. Do you know a simple Kanban tool, like Trello, but offline? Some popular offline Kanban tools include Kanban Flow, Board, and Wecken. Question 42. What are the most valuable Kanban certifications? Some of the most valuable Kanban certifications include Certified Kanban Foundation, KMP1, Certified Kanban Practitioner, KMP2, and Accredited Kanban Trainer, AKT. Question 43. Agile software development. What columns does your Kanban board have? The columns on a Kanban board can vary depending on the specific workflow of the organization. However, a common structure for a Kanban board includes columns for backlog, to do, in progress, testing, and done. Question 44. What is the best online tool for agile development using Kanban? There are several online tools available for agile development using Kanban. Some of the popular ones are Swift Kanban, Kanbanize, and Kaizen. The best tool for your organization would depend on your specific needs, requirements, and budget. Question 45. What's the best Kanban software? There is no one best Kanban software as it depends on your specific needs and requirements. Some of the popular ones are Swift Kanban, Kanbanize, and Kaizen. Question 46. Which agile methodology, Scrum, Lean, XP, or Kanban, is considered the best practice, and why? Each agile methodology has its own strengths and weaknesses, and it's not fair to compare them against one another. Also, what works best for one organization may not work for another. The best practice is to choose the methodology that suits your specific needs and goals. Question 47. How do I use Kanban? If by use, you mean leverage Kanban, then focus on visualizing your work, limiting your work in progress, continuous delivery, collaborating, and improving your workflow. Each of these has a number of practices that you can adapt. Question 48. Is Kanban or Scrum better for project management? Both Kanban and Scrum have their own strengths and weaknesses, and what works best for one organization may not work for another. Kanban is more flexible, adaptable, and focus on lean principles, while Scrum provides more structure and predictability. Question 49. Does Kanban work for UX design? Yes. Kanban works for UX design, and for all types of work. Kanban can help you visualize the design process, manage the flow of design work, and provide transparency and accountability. Question 50. What are project management tools with Kanban cards and chat? The card layout is quite common in most tools, but not all tools having card layouts and charts would constitute Kanban. Some of the popular project management tools with Kanban cards are Swift Kanban, Kanbanize, Gittin, Trello, Asana, Jira, Azure DevOps. Question 51. What are some Kanban tools with Git integration? There are several Kanban tools that offer Git integration, including Kanbanize, Swift Kanban, Atlassian, Jira. Question 52. What are your favorite Kanban tools besides Trello? While Trello and Atlassian Jira are popular Kanban tools, my personal favorite is Kanban-Eyes. It offers a wide range of features that are useful for managing complex workflows and projects, such as automation, analytics, and advanced reporting. Question 53. How do you manage a product roadmap in Kanban? To manage a product roadmap in Kanban, you can create a separate board or swim lane dedicated to the product roadmap. You can then use the board to prioritize tasks and features, and visualize how they fit into the overall product roadmap timeline. You can also use labels or color coding to identify which tasks are related to the product roadmap. Question 54. Which Kanban project management tool should I choose? The choice of Kanban project management tool depends on your specific needs and preferences. Some popular options include Swift Kanban, Kanban-Eyes, Jira Software, and Asana. I would recommend evaluating each tool based on its features, ease of use, pricing, and customer support before making a decision. Question 55. Do you know a simple Kanban tool, like Trello, but offline? If you're looking for a simple Kanban tool that you can use offline, you may want to check out Kanboard. It's a free and open-source Kanban tool that you can install on your own server or computer, and it offers similar features to Trello. Question 56. What are the most valuable Kanban certifications? The most valuable Kanban certifications include Accredited Kanban Consultant, AKC, Accredited Kanban Trainer, AKT, Kanban Management Professional, KMP, earned after completing Kanban System Design, KSD, and Kanban System Improvement, KSI. Kanban Coaching Professional, KCP, earned after completing Kanban Maturity Model, KMM, and Kanban Coaching Practices, KCP. Team Kanban Practitioner, TKP. Question 57. What columns does your Kanban board have? This is a very generic question and can be answered in hundreds of different ways. The columns on a Kanban board can vary depending on the specific workflow or process being managed. However, a typical Kanban board for agile software development might include columns for backlog, ready for development, development in progress, testing in progress, done. Question 58. Can Scrum and Kanban be used at the same time? Kanban is self-sufficient by itself. However, sometimes in organizations there may be a need to leverage both to extract as much value as possible. In such cases, Scrum and Kanban can be used together. This is known as Scrumban, or Kanban Scrum. Scrumban combines the principles of Scrum, such as time-boxed sprints and cross-functional teams, with the visual workflow management of Kanban. This can help teams to optimize their workflow and improve their overall efficiency and productivity. Question 59. Has anyone used Asana in the Kanban methodology? Yes, Asana can be used in the Kanban methodology. Asana has a board view that allows you to visualize your tasks as cards that you can move between columns. This board view can be used to implement the Kanban methodology and manage your workflow. Question 60. What is the best Kanban tool for an iPad user? There are several Kanban tools that have iPad app. The best tool for an iPad user, however, depends on your specific needs and preferences. I would recommend trying out a few different tools and evaluating them based on their features, ease of use, and overall user experience. Question 61. How does Agile, Scrum, and Kanban scale to large projects having thousands of features? Agile, Scrum, and Kanban can all be scaled to large projects with thousands of features by using frameworks such as SAFe, Scaled Agile Framework, LESS, Large-Scale Scrum, or Kanban Cadences. These frameworks provide guidelines for organizing teams, managing backlogs, and coordinating work across multiple teams. Kanban has scaling built into it. Question 62. What are some ways to design your projects using Kanban? Some ways to design your projects using Kanban include visualizing your workflow, defining work items and their priority, setting work in progress limits, continuously monitoring and improving your workflow, managing flow and optimizing lead time. Question 63. What are the criteria to decide if you should use Scrum or Kanban? The decision to use Scrum or Kanban depends on your specific needs and project requirements. Scrum is best suited for projects with a defined scope and a fixed delivery date, while Kanban is more flexible and suited for projects with changing priorities and requirements. If you need to plan and execute work in sprints with a fixed timeline, then Scrum may be the better choice. If you need to manage a continuous flow of work with changing priorities, then Kanban may be more appropriate. Question 64. Is Kanban good for IT sustaining engineering and software maintenance? Yes, Kanban can be a good approach for IT sustaining engineering and software maintenance. Kanban's focus on continuous flow and visualizing work can help teams to manage a large volume of tickets and requests, prioritize work, and ensure that work is delivered on time. Question 65. What is the general process of a Kanban software development project? The general process of a Kanban software development project includes the following steps. Visualize the workflow, decide on the work item types that you are planning to support, decide on the work item stages, arrive at the WIP limits, define the commit point, manage the flow of work through the Kanboard, conduct regular replenishment Kanban meetings and flow reviews. Improve continuously. Question 66. How can I best commit to development timelines using Kanban, Lean Agile? To commit to development timelines using Kanban, Lean Agile, you should focus on managing flow and setting realistic expectations for delivery. This involves breaking down work into small, manageable tasks, prioritizing work based on customer value, and continuously monitoring and improving the workflow. You can also use metrics such as lead time and cycle time to measure your progress and ensure that you are delivering work on time. Question 67. What's the difference between Scrum and Kanban in terms of estimation? In Scrum, estimation is typically done through story points, which are used to estimate the relative effort required to complete a task. In Kanban, estimation is often done through cycle time, which is the amount of time it takes to complete a task from start to finish. Kanban focuses on managing flow and reducing lead time, while Scrum focuses on planning work in sprints and delivering a fixed amount of work in each sprint. Question 68. What is your preferred open-source Kanban tool? I do not have a preferred open-source Kanban tool. However, some popular open-source Kanban tools include Kanboard, Wecken, and RestuBoard. Question 69. How do you scale a tech team using Kanban? Start by identifying the service that you provide to the customer. Build your service around the customer. Manage the work and not the workers. Do not go for a big bang approach nor change roles and responsibilities. Apply static. Build the Kanban board. Identify the granularity of items being worked on the board. If they are too granular where customers are unable to understand what value they add, then you need the AN-tier board, where the highest tier consists of work items that the customer can see and understand and the other tiers are broken down items for the tech team to implement. Limit the WIP and apply the rule without exceptions. Question 70. What is the most flexible Kanban-based project management tool? I cannot endorse any specific Kanban-based project management tool as the most flexible. However, some popular Kanban tools with flexible features include Kanbanize, Swift Kanban, and Kaizen. Question 71. Can Kanban be used in retail? Yes, Kanban can be used in retail to improve inventory management, logistics, and supply chain processes. Retail businesses can use visual Kanban boards to track inventory levels and facilitate just-in-time (JIT) ordering, ensuring that they have enough stock to meet customer demand without overstocking. Question 72. What Kanban or Agile tools support multi-project task board and reporting? Some popular Kanban or Agile tools that support multi-project task board and reporting include Kanbanize, Swift Kanban, and Kaizen. Atlassian Jira and Azure DevOps also support multi-project board and reporting, but their Kanban capabilities are not fully explored. Question 73. Why and how would you integrate Scrum with Kanban? It already exists and it's called Scrumban. Scrumban combines the principles of Scrum, such as time-boxed sprints and cross-functional teams, with the visual workflow management of Kanban. This can help teams to optimize their workflow and improve their overall efficiency and productivity. Question 74. What is the equivalent of Scrum Master in Kanban? Is Kanban a Scrum? In Kanban, there is no specific role equivalent to the Scrum Master in Scrum. However, the Kanban method encourages continuous improvement and relies on the team to self-organize and manage their work. Kanban is not a Scrum methodology, but it is an Agile methodology that emphasizes managing work by limiting work in progress, visualizing workflow, and continuously improving processes. At higher maturity levels, level 3 and above, Kanban recommends the role of Flow Manager, Service Delivery Manager, and Service Request Manager, managing the downstream and upstream Kanbans respectively. Question 75. In what situations is Kanban way superior to Scrum? Kanban is superior to Scrum in situations where there is a need for continuous delivery and a focus on flow efficiency. Kanban allows for a more flexible and adaptive approach to managing work, without the constraints of fixed sprints and roles. Kanban is also well suited for teams with a high volume of incoming work, where prioritization is critical. Question 76. What examples are there of Kanban implementation in enterprise software? There are many examples of Kanban implementation in enterprise software, including Microsoft, Cisco, and Siemens. These companies have used Kanban to improve their software development processes by visualizing workflow, limiting work in progress, and focusing on continuous improvement. Question 77. What are the best practices when implementing Kanban in software development? Some best practices for implementing Kanban in software development include visualizing the workflow, setting work in progress limits, measuring lead time and cycle time, and continuously improving processes. It's also important to ensure that everyone on the team understands the principles of Kanban and that there is buy-in from all stakeholders. Question 78. Is there a good small business CRM with a Kanban view, other than Pipedrive? Yes, there are several small business CRM options with Kanban views, including Agile CRM, Insightly, and HubSpot CRM. Question 79. How does Kanban for project management relate to Kanban in manufacturing? The principles of Kanban originated in manufacturing, where they were used to optimize production processes. The Kanban method for project management applies those same principles to software development and other knowledge work, emphasizing the visualization of workflow, limiting work in progress, and continuous improvement. Question 80. What is the significance of using Kanban boards among project managers? Kanban boards provide project managers with a visual representation of the team's workflow, allowing them to quickly identify bottlenecks, prioritize work, and manage resources. This makes it easier to track progress, identify and address issues, and ultimately improve the efficiency and effectiveness of the team.